You know that feeling? Just before sunrise, everything's quiet, feels full of potential, like a fresh start. It makes you almost crave that inside yourself, right? That inner freedom.
It really does, that quiet anticipation.
Exactly. And that leads us perfectly into our deep dive today. We're looking at a really interesting trend report, I say, which translates to At Dawn 2026 Spring-Summer Theme Trends.
And for you listening, if you want the core insights without wading through pages and pages, well, this is your shortcut. We've gone through the trend analysis, the materials, the colors, even the consumer profiles for the season.
Yeah, our goal here is really to pull out the most important bits, the stuff that tells us what's really driving this At Dawn theme.
And it seems to go deeper than just aesthetics, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. The report connects it strongly to these shifts in society, this kind of collective search for something more meaningful, maybe, inner freedom, personal awakening. These ideas keep popping up.
And they introduce these specific concepts, Eliodio, the happiness formula, and the inner energy field. Seems like those are pretty central.
Right. So how does At Dawn actually respond to this modern yearning the report talks about?
Well, it's positioned as a direct response. It's not just about looking a certain way, it's reacting to something deeper. This happiness formula, or Eliode, it emphasizes hygge, making happiness tangible.
Tangible happiness. Okay. How so?
It suggests people are looking for spiritual fulfillment, not just inwardly, but through outward practices too, things that show that inner awareness. That's probably why we're seeing trends like slow living, more focus on spiritual growth.
Ah, okay. So it's less passive, more like actively building your happiness. Makes sense. And what about the inner energy field, the Elioge? And they also mentioned a social energy field.
Yeah, the Elioge is about your personal vibe, your inner state. But the social energy field, that highlights the strong emotional connections we have, not just one-on-one, but in groups, in communities.
So like the collective mood or energy.
Sort of, yeah. And this deep connection, it's a big motivator. It pushes people to find a better balance, between material stuff and their spiritual needs. They're looking for lifestyles that let them express that inner energy and connect spiritually with others.
All aiming for that inner peace and freedom we started with.
Exactly. That seems to be the core driver.
Okay, so inner freedom is the engine. Now, the report brings in an artist, Erica Mahine, as material inspiration. What's her connection?
Mahine's work is interesting here because she explores moments of change, transition. She looks at the idea that our sense of self, our physical and emotional states, they aren't fixed, they're fluid.
How does she show that? Through patterns and material?
Yeah, through patterns, materials, how light plays on them. She's trying to push past traditional art forms, apparently. Her work shows the body being active in a space, almost like the spirit extending outwards.
So her art kind of looks like breaking free, shedding limitations.
That's a good way to put it. It really resonates with this whole idea of self-liberation in the At Dawn theme. It's about rethinking your relationship with the world, maybe questioning things, finding your own freedom and potential, like dawn breaking.
Okay, that clicks. And there was another artist mentioned for color inspiration, Leonard Osorio.
Yes, Leonard Osorio. Their approach is quite different, focusing on expressive color. They use these bold, vibrant blocks of color next to stable, darker tones.
Creating a contrast.
Right, a visual conflict almost. But the way the colors flow, even in simple compositions, gives it this dreamlike feel. It's like the colors themselves are moving, changing, echoing that theme of transformation again.
So the inspiration itself mirrors this idea of change and inner expression. Let's talk about the actual color palette for Dawn 2. Where does it come from?
The report says it's drawn from the spiritual world of the you, which translates roughly to mentally relaxed individuals.
Mentally relaxed individuals.
Okay.
People seeking calm.
Pretty much. Think modern urbanites trying to find release from the daily grind, seeking that inner peace.
Got it. So what do the colors look like?
It's a really nice mix, actually. You've got these low saturation, kind of muted gray tones, but then they're combined with bright, sunny colors. It's meant to symbolize dawn breaking through, oppression or darkness towards freedom.
So visually representing that shift.
Exactly. The base is off of these soft, warm grays, almost like mist. Then they layer in gentle blues, greens, and pinks. Think peaceful, easy feelings, even when life's busy. They give specific Pantones, too. 1104 Teller TPG, 14 Teller 3906 TPG, and 12110 TPG.
They sound very calming. But you mentioned energy earlier. Where does that fit in the palette?
Ah, right. That comes from accent colors. Pops of orange, yellow, rose red, a luminous pink orange. But crucially, they're not supposed to be overwhelming. They're woven in subtly, just to add depth and life without killing the serene vibe.
Like the first rays of sun.
That's the idea. The key color they highlight is 141052 TPG, which is this lovely soft tangerine, gentle energy.
Okay, so a palette that feels hopeful, calm, but with a spark. Now the mentally relaxed individual, you said they're the core consumer. Who are they?
Essentially, yeah. The report identifies them as the main audience for this At Dawn theme. They're described as modern city dwellers who are consciously resisting just, surviving day to day. They're actively looking for inner freedom, spiritual awakening, going beyond the basics.
That sounds like a growing mindset. How does the report describe their lifestyle? It mentioned 4 dimensions: trend, play, life, and activity. Let's start with trend.
Okay, trend. This includes things like flexible urbanity, navigating the city with ease, not being confined by it, graceful drifting, being okay with change, adaptable, lighting aesthetic, an appreciation for atmosphere and subtle light, and multidimensional texture, liking things that feel interesting, layered.
So someone adaptable, observant, appreciates subtlety. What about play? What's their leisure time like?
High play seems less about pure escapism, more mindful, leisurely reading, quiet time thought, artistic weekend, creative outlets, spiritual investment activities that nourish the inner self, like meditation or retreats, and long-termism valuing sustained well-being over quick fixes.
Right, focusing inward. Then life. This gets more into their values or maybe even careers.
Life gives hints, yeah. Perfume critic suggests refined senses, appreciation for detail. Podcast creator, maybe wanting to share ideas, connect deeply. Interdisciplinary spiritual education, open to different paths for growth. And international volunteer, wanting to contribute meaningfully.
A very conscious way of living. And the last one, activity. How do they engage day to day?
Activity covers daily practices. Mindfulness meditation is key. Balanced self-consistency, well-being without being rigid. Flow with the movement, embracing change like that graceful drifting. And existentialism, not in a gloomy way, but reflecting on life's meaning, engaging thoughtfully with their existence.
Wow, it paints a really clear picture. What are the core values driving this, Sayam?
It really boils down to prioritizing inner peace and flow. Spiritual growth, self-improvement are big. Love of nature, culture, simplicity, a slower pace. Focus on quality of life, inner harmony. They appreciate diverse cultures and, interestingly, connect their pursuit of happiness to social sustainability, like personal well-being contributes to the collective good.
It's a whole journey of self-awareness, isn't it? Enjoying life's changes.
Exactly. Unlocking that awareness and enjoying the energy that comes with it.
Okay, this is fascinating. How does this Sai philosophy translate into actual fashion styles? Let's look at the feminine side first.
For feminine styles, think light, free, unrestrictive. Soft colors, sheer materials, a sort of romantic urban feel, but still simple and modern. You see design elements like pleats, curves, relaxed shapes, maybe subtle floral prints, all conveying that free-flowing attitude.
So movement and lightness are key.
Absolutely. Comfort, texture, very important. Soft, sheer fabrics are used almost symbolically, like releasing that inner energy we talked about. Key terms they use are lightweight silhouette, flowing colors, delicate layers.
Ethereal, but grounded in that urban simplicity. Makes sense. And for masculine styles, how does At Dawn look there?
For men, it's about sophisticated design, but definitely comfortable. It reflects that high value on quality of life, the inner world, soft tones again, relaxed silhouettes, but with a real focus on the texture of details, the feel of the fabric.
What kind of fabrics?
Things like light silk wool blends, fine cotton linens, maybe even subtle metallic coatings that give a hint of understated energy. But the overall feel is refined.
So not flashy, less about power dressing.
Definitely not. They avoid stiffness, anything too embellished. It's all about finding that balance between freedom and flow. Same as the feminine side, but perhaps with a slightly more grounded aesthetic. The key words are textural consonance, relaxed tailoring, and refined detailing.
Quiet confidence, subtle quality. Got it. This has been incredibly insightful. If we had to boil down the absolute key takeaways from everyone listening.
Okay, well, number one, Tolkien is fundamentally a response to this deep, modern need for inner freedom, peace, and spiritual awakening. It's not just a look.
Right, driven by ideas like
the tangible happiness through inner work and outer practice, and the ETU of that sense of personal and social energy connection. Then you have the material and color inspirations, Mahine, Lidar de Sorio, the Dawn palette, all reflecting transition, serene energy.
And the person actively seeking this lifestyle.
Exactly. They're the core audience. And finally, the fashion styles, both feminine and masculine, embody this whole ethos. Lightness, flow, comfort, understated quality. It all ties together.
It really does. It feels like more than just trends. It's tapping into something quite profound about how people want to live right now. Okay, so maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to mull over. Reflecting on all this, what does your own personal dawn look or feel like? What small steps could you take, perhaps, to invite a bit more of that inner freedom and peace into your own life?